Hello and welcome. My name is Satyen Patel, and I designed this ePortfolio using Wix. And my ePortfolio is based on consulting. It's what I primarily do. It's what I've done for a long time. And so this is the homepage, and it's very basic. And I give a little bit information right there. And then when you click on the README, it actually takes you to the portion that's called About Me. And down here, I just have some core skills, and you can go a little bit more in depth if you'd like. And it's all again on the About Me page. And this is the latest place I work for, so I have that right there. And then just some quotes that some of the people I work for currently have given me. And below, I just have Get in Touch. It's basically a contact page. I'm using my live account, so it's easier that way. And all of this works. It's the same as the contact page. And then the same also can be said about the Let's Chat. It'll actually work with my phone, so if somebody wants to click on that, so it's not too bad. All right, so that's the main page. On the About Me, I have some information, how I like to work, and how I like to focus my energy and stuff. And below, some more information on what I've done and what I've worked with and how I continue to work. And a lot of my background is in engineering and programming, so I have a lot of that also mixed in. And so I have done a lot of training and development as far as working with the oils, materials, and stuff. So I have that in there also as well. But this is more of an oils site, and that's what I've geared all this focus on. On the resume, I have it pretty straightforward. It's just me and my daughter picture there, but on the resume, it just opens up to another tab, so the people don't have to worry about downloading it or anything like that. Um, and going down, I have my professional goal statement and my story. Um, Kind of an overview of some of the cities I've worked in, um, and also what I've done over the past basically 28 years. So from there, I have the internship project and a little bit of background. I didn't do my internship at the place I work, and as odd as it is, uh, I work for an HVAC training center, and they also do plumbing, heating, and all that stuff. So they have two sides to this place, and I just work in the training center, and then I do some of the IT in the office and support like that. But I didn't have an opportunity for an internship program there, but one of the oils professors had seen some of my writings and he noticed I was doing a lot of stuff on the HVAC. And so he actually offered me the internship at another HVAC place as long as it didn't conflict with the place I was currently working for. And it actually ended up working out great because the place that I do contract for normally, they don't offer lead-based training at all. And the other place, which also does HVAC, they offer lead-based paint training. And so it was a really unique opportunity to be able to blend a lot of different skills and stuff and bring it to the table. And because I do have a background in construction, a lot of it wasn't a hurdle. A lot of it I was able to grasp and easily understand. And so that's what I went with. And so I just have basically my internship, the needs analysis and project proposal here, design implementation, and then I have deliverables. I have a lot of deliverables for this place. I was with them for a year, basically from November 2020 to November 2021, early part of that. And this is basically the PowerPoint presentation. It's 8 modules. It's an 8-hour long training course, and each module opens up. I didn't put the actual PowerPoint. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible for the viewer. And but basically, I have to put the EPA's emblem and everything there, and all of this is approved by them and HUD. And so a lot of this I redid. Um, you can see the video isn't clickable here, but I have a lot of graphics developed in here. Um, a lot of language has been simplified so that people can understand and have a better opportunity at passing this course. And that was one of the problems that the stakeholders had brought up with me. And so this is another one of the graphics I developed, and there's just so many that I've added and created in here. And there's a whole bunch of them, but I'm not going to go through all of them. This is the exam that I had to develop for them, and it's a pretty simple exam. It's a 30-minute time test, and learners just circle the answers to the best of their ability. The instructors are allowed to modify this exam and remove some of the questions so that if it's too many questions, if 35 is too many, a few can be removed, and then the headers need to be removed also. So I left the headers in here because this is the base exam template, and then it gets modified, and then they could position around the questions and stuff. So change it up a little bit. All right, and then this is a quality control plan. This is something that I had to submit to the EPA and HUD, and it's just basically telling them that we plan on continuously upgrading the material and exam, and we will keep them in the loop, and how often we plan on doing it and stuff like that. So good record keeping, and just being a good clientele for them is basically what it is. And so that's just like our promissory note. One of the most challenging things that I worked on for the lead-based training was train the trainer. This is something I had to develop from scratch. I had no background or experience. The oils program, it just definitely helped me develop this. Unfortunately, I didn't have a class in it, but I developed everything in here, including the logos. A lot of the images were purchased through Adobe, but this thing here is 39 pages, and it's a train the trainer, and it's basically how you can train a new trainer that's going to be teaching this course, and then what adult theories apply to the course, and then how does this all play out, how to set up your material, how to set up your classroom, how to set up a lot of different things. So a lot of these courses that I took, I had to put it in here, but I had to put it all in layman's terms. And so everything is pretty much included here: resources, hotline information, and how to navigate the slides, what to look out for in the instructor's manual, which I didn't modify, but the student's manual as well. And then there's just a ton of information in here on how to run an actual course. Got some checklists in here, one in the beginning, another one right here, a lot of it in the back, a ton of training theory, um, again, simplified with graphics that I created to the best of my ability using a variety of programs. I have a tendency of using open source programs because as a consultant, not everybody can afford like Adobe products and premium products. And a lot of these places are nonprofit. And when you come in there, they're going to ask you to, your hourly wages include your development and your price. And if you're in a high range, you're not going to be able to afford all that software. So I have a tendency of using open source software, and so a lot of it was developed in that matter. But again, yeah, train the trainer was really interesting. It took me a long time to develop this thing, but it's how to become a good trainer, and it's very focused and specific to the lead-based paint training. So you can't just copy and paste it and make it into a different one. It just won't work, and it's not a good way to go anyways. And so basically, pretty good overall development here. Lots of neat and interesting things. Um, everything's in layman terms so that they don't need a graduate degree to be able to teach this course and stuff. All the references are the ones that are from the course material and then some from the EPA and HUD, but from all the classes that I've taken. And so yeah, that was pretty interesting. Anyways, moving on, I have the evaluation and reflection. My evaluation report, I wasn't able to get all the data in on time earlier, a couple weeks ago. I finally had the opportunity over Thanksgiving break to actually compile all the data. And so when you look at the Train the Trainer here and the one I recently posted, even in the old post or forum, it's all there. All of the data is there. All the information is there. I have it all towards the bottom. And I used a couple of Google surveys and open-ended questions. I did interview territory stakeholders because they're ultimately the ones that interview and hire these students in the construction field. They're contracting them, and they themselves are contractors. So I was able to go out and reach out to them and interview them. Had some really good results, and so I've got it all in there as well. All right. Reflection paper right here, and then we'll move on to other projects. In other projects, I have my program synthesis, very straightforward. Um, and then I have some sample artifacts. When I went with the sample artifacts, I just kind of handpicked a few. There's there's just so much that I learned and so much I went through. And my focus in the MA program was instructional design and technology, but there's just so many additional elements that it wasn't just that graphics designing and LMS solutions and e-learning, but it was a lot of adult learning theory, a lot of cognitive sciences. So and using so many different principles and things. So it was great, but I had to narrow it down. So one of the things I did was I volunteered for Global Ties Albuquerque. They're a nonprofit that works with future leaders from around the world, and they actually come to Albuquerque and make ties with local businesses and things like that, and eventually these people become leaders, or they are part of the government, or they eventually become part of the government. So you get people from Russia, North Korea, all that stuff, and so you have them visit here in Albuquerque, and they needed some onboard training, and so I have the final design document here, navigating the orientation, how to navigate the orientation on the website and all that stuff. And then my classmate that I worked on the project with, her name was Lisa Montoya, and she developed the YouTube video, so I put it there. The training is accessible, but the version of training that's accessible here is identical to the live one that they have, except it sits in my Google Classroom account. And I did that for future reasons, like here, for example, so that I could show it as an example. And the class code is placed right there also. Um, I also put in my program evaluation for my program evaluation class, but I used a mock case that was actually based off of the place the place that I contract for from the HVAC center. And so that I put that in there. I thought that was really important. I learned a lot of things in there, especially with developing time management, Gantt charts, project and budget management and analysis, and working with the stakeholders and keeping track of all that stuff. I have a tendency of not keeping track of it, but I do now because I see how important it is. I did some instructional multimedia, just some simple stuff like process load. It's just a PDF with an image. Um, some walkthroughs on how to play some board games, and I did YouTube videos on that just to basically show and liven up how instructional design should be, because these two games here, they didn't have very great instructions, and it took me a little while to learn. Mobile learning was a class. I found it very neat, and so I added that as just a link. But when you actually click on that, it takes you to a complete website that I developed for this class. And there's a Twinery game in here. There's information on how it works and how you can get it to go. Sifter game. and that's all in there. There's a map, and then there under the resources are actually student resources, and all the resources that I used for development is in here, and then a whole bunch of other material is in here, and then I have student resources, and this will take you to another page that teaches you how to build all this stuff. And I kept this because not just to teach someone else or anything, but for my future um, reference as well. I work with kids once in a while, and then I work with my own kids as well. And it's fun and neat if I have a place where I can go check out some stuff that I developed and how to teach other people how to do so. And so these are basically instructions on how to do it and how to make it come to life and stuff. And another link down there. So have that, and then just my little conclusion there at the bottom, and then a way for people to contact me. And this is pretty straightforward. It's the same thing that was on the main homepage. And that's it. Well, I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. And let me know anything if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, or you see some misspelled words and stuff. But other than that, I appreciate your time. And it's been a great journey. I've had a lot of fun with a lot of you guys and gals that I've worked on many projects in this program. And this is basically the end of my journey as far as being in school, but it's just a continuation of a journey in my life. Thank you.